very confident in his survivability at this point. Oh, and the demonic breastplate just came out right now. What is Malikan sitting on? He's sitting at 378 gold a minute, still under that Soul Stealer,
Magic
but
400.
wow.
Yeah.
That's if demonic this quick. Well, to counter that, we have a nullstone now on Soul Steer. That probably attributed a lot to his survivability. No, and he's now gonna go say hi to Malikan. So actually, a lot of people might be saying hi to Malikan, as it looks like a convergence here. Malikan popping that ult, but really it only caught the Panda. Bubbles coming out, going to be taking out Voodoo Jester pretty easily, and they disable that Malikan before he can jump away with that sword throw. And down goes that Bound Eye again, picked up this time by Pandemoniums. So now we have a big incentive here for the Legion to push, because they're two heroes down, and one of them is of course that Malikan, who really is for all intents and purposes, you know, just destroying his team in terms of farm. So
Yeah, it's definitely true, and it was very well played by the Pandemonium that he waited for Malikan to throw out his sword until he popped his ultimate, so that Malikan had absolutely no chance of getting away. And that is of course the strength of Pandemonium as well. His disables are all physical, so he doesn't give a crap about any, you know, shrunken heads whatsoever.
nope, not at all. It does not matter one iota to him. But that was a great combo there on that Soul Steer. So either his Nullstone was still down, or Nullstone does not block that Valkyrie arrow, because he got a 5-second stun into a combo for the Devourer, and he went down pretty quick, despite the best intentions of both Panda and Witch Slayer. But that tower will live yet another day on that Hellborn side.
Yeah. So Valkyrie's choosing to go for the Geometer's Bane first, which is of course not a bad choice. It's still a good item. You can't say really anything against Geometer's Bane on an agility ranged hero.
Cheap?
It makes a lot of sense.
I describe it with cheap.
Yes, cheap, and it gives you everything you need. We don't need to elaborate on that. Everybody knows it. Like,
yeah, it's a fairly standard pickup now. Speaking of standard, Panda has a Blessed Orb, so my bet is he's going for that Nullstone for that extra survivability with, of course, the mana regen. So.
yeah, of course, and the Nullstone gives him quite a nice amount of DPS as well. As you said, the survivability aspect of the Nullstone is also pretty huge. So yeah, just all reasonable pickups, apart from the Ring of the Teacher on Valkyrie, which I still am curious about.
Well, there's no point questioning it now. Portal Key now picked up on a Pyromancer, so he is getting very mobile with the Portal Key Tablet of Command combo. That's a lot of leapfrog distance you're able to cover. We do have that Nullstone on that Bubbles, that's a bit more standard. He has an Acolyte Staff as well, so he's either going for a Sheep Stick or that Frostfield Plate. I think a Sheep Stick would probably go very well at this point, considering right now they have to really gang up on that Malikan just to keep him down. So another extra disable to, you know, stop him from that sword throw away is probably going to be a good order of business.
Yeah, definitely, especially against teams where the enemy team really relies on one hero, and in this case they rely heavily. It's getting, you know, towards the 40-minute mark, and thus they rely on the carry, and that is really Malikan. So taking Malikan out of the fight does you know, cut the power of the Hellborn team quite a lot now at this stage of the game.
Well, we had a concede vote come out, and we were like, oh, that's interesting, but we're gonna have a pause here, so we'll talk a little bit about, you know, I mean, so these guys really are depending on that Malikan. He has a great deal of farm. Yeah, still under that 400 mark at 358, but his items really reflect a lot of power here. I mean, that Shrunken Head, and of course the Whispering Helm, which really is a great item, especially for Malikan, because he has such insane attack speed. You later on in life, you get that up to that Symbol of Rage, and really you start gaining that 125% of your damage, especially when your ultimate gives you splash and, you know, a good boost there. I mean, he's going to be really you know, just flying through this Legion team.
Yeah, and I just watched Malikan's attack speed earlier on. I mean, right now, it is on standard, but before he picked up the demonic breastplate, he actually managed to get up to 1.8 attacks per second. in a team fight, and that is pretty huge, especially for a strength hero, because that's normally the weakness that strength carries have, is that their attack speed doesn't get boosted by the agility, and thus they tend to have a bit of problem with attack speed. But Malikan really makes up for that with his Hellborn Zeal, and especially with the demonic breastplate. He's now sitting at an attack speed of 0.7 seconds per attack. That gives you 1.4 attacks per second, and that is just a lot of DPS that's coming out of him right now.
One Mississippi. Yeah, it's about 2 attacks every or about 3 attacks every 2 seconds or so. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So he, as I say, he's just gonna be flying through the ranks. So,
Yeah, he's already on 1.2k gold again, so
yeah, he's not gonna have any trouble really farming. I mean, the support on the Hellborn right now, that Voodoo Jester, they've been constantly warding, constantly creeping these ancients for their farm, more you know, commonly known as Malikan. So he does not have any trouble, which just shows, you know, how strong FaP is right now. That there's the support on FaP is really feeding their carries, and that's really what's kept them in the game. I mean, we have 6 kills sitting on Devour. A lot of those were from early. Oh, 1 second stun going on that Witch Slay. They did not expect him to be there, but don't really know why he was there either. So he goes down. But anyways, yeah, 6 kills on the Devour, 7 on this Malikan. I mean, that's 15 of the 19 they have right now. Sorry, that's 13, not 15. 13 of the kills right there. The other 5 picked up here by you know, Pyromancer, which is okay. I mean, he has a very strong ult, so sometimes kill stealing is fine. But yeah, I mean, a lot of everything there is centered upon those 3 heroes. More prominently that Malikan. So without him, the team is probably going to fail spectacularly. But
yeah, especially considering, you know, the Soul Seer is also pretty farm at this point, and so is Panda not. But Panda is also, you know, with the Shrunken Head and the Ghost Marchers, he is stealing a fair share of DPS. I mean, he's not really good, but it's still noticeable, I think. But if you want to look at a poor man's inventory, look at Vindicator. Oh.
Oh, he has a power supply now. Awesome. He didn't have that last time. I love it. But I mean, that goes back to an earlier point. I mean, a lot of wards are still being flung around the map, and a lot of those are being bought through Vindicators. So he has spent a lot of money out here on the wards. We should actually check the wards placed stats after this game and just see. You know, I would be very surprised if he didn't place at least 90-95% of them.
Yeah, most likely. And it's always good to have one of your supports buy all the wards, basically. So the other support can pick up good support items like Witch Slayer wants to. He really wants that tablet of command, but he just doesn't get it.
Well,
I suppose
he's still sitting at 85 gold a minute, and it's been, you know, a few minutes since we checked. So his rate of gold acquiring, that is whatever. His rate of gold getting is not that great. So
yeah, but Pyromancer is really doing a great job at getting some farm going, because he's also sitting at an Acolyte's stuff right now. So that's gonna most likely be a sheep stick, and an extra disable does never hurt, especially not a hex, which is just awesome.
Alright, well, this time does not look like Legion want to be caught out unawares, but to that effect we've had the Hellborn scatter, so it's very risky to go into this right now, simply because we got a nice concave going here with all the support heroes out on the ledges. So what is Legion going to do, as they really can't afford to give out a Kongor kill, but Bubbles is going to come in here, and he really picked the right target there, that Pyromancer. Out comes the sheep stick that he's just finished up, and now with that eye, it looks like Malikan really wants to bring him down. Great take cover, however, that's going to keep him alive and gives him time for Soulsteer and Panda to come here. So Malikan has to be very careful because he does not have that token alive. Indeed, Kongor has been abandoned to all high heaven, but they're really going to be focusing a lot of damage here on him, and they're so close to getting him down, and down he goes. And now what's the rest of everyone going to do? Devour's going to take out that Witch Slayer, and Vindicator, the squishy Vindicator, did go down as well. And now Bubble's going to be trying to play some mind games here with that Devour. Hook is up in 4 seconds. It's not going to matter, as out goes the smackdown, but Panda died for the sacrifice. And now, I don't know, Soulsteer must be feeling pretty good, because that null stone is going to come out, and there goes the sheep stick on that Voodoo Jester. They're just trying to get away at this point, and they really don't seem to want to let them get away. As Bubbles is getting body blocked, and really that was a great use of take cover again, but he will go down. That's a 4 for 4, and now what is Solstier going to do? He's going to try to portal up here. What's the time on the jump? The jump is not going to be enough to get away, but those illusions will be resetting that portal key just enough so that Pedo Bear here can live to stalk another day.
Pedo Bear. Just one thing that I really noticed that just right sprung into my eye, even though the Highborn lost, there was just one great moment where Pandemonium flicked Malikan, and right in the moment that Panda launched himself into the air for the follow-up cannonball, Pyromancer just pushed Malikan right out of it and forced Pandemonium to miss his cannonball. That was really clutch play there by Pyromancer, I have to say.
Using that tablet of
I was
command,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that is just, especially in that split second, if you have to make a decision and, do all the stuff to make it work. It's just great to see. There's a really quick reaction there. It didn't help them very much, but I was like, that's cool.
Well, this will probably be a big shock to the Legion, but that Malikan can actually solo Kongor without any need for help, and they're going to be picking up a quick token here. Who's distracting them though? That Voodoo Jester did not want to be going up there, so he goes down. But at the same time, as I said, that Kongor yields that token, and now Malikan is just twice as deadly as anything else. So good pickup on them, going straight for it as they come back up alive. Does Witchslayer have his he still does not have his tablet. He's like, man, I wish I was Pyromancer right now. To his credit, he's actually still at 85 gold a minute, so. 087 for that.
Okay, that doesn't help your farm very much, does it?
He is support. He's not being played in any kind of carry role, but yeah. He's definitely smarting, especially after dying.
No, the problem is not that he doesn't have any kills. The problem is that he dies. That is the problem. That really cuts into your farm as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's.
I'm not saying it's not.
Let's say it's 200 gold every time he dies, right? At 85 gold a minute, that's 2.5 to 3 minutes. He has to just sit around waiting for it to come back. So, yeah, but alright.
Yeah.
What was everyone doing? That tower in the mid is no more.
Solstier is a symbol.
Solstier has his symbol of rage.
Yep.
What? Oh, sorry. There we go. I was looking at Malikan, I was like, I don't see a symbol of rage. No. So he has a symbol of rage. I mean, I did notice Solstier there, even at the end of the fight. Full mana and full hit points, so he must have popped it at some point, unless he just picked it up. But he's doing great for survivability. He's 11, 2, and 5. So he's definitely flying very well over that 400 gold a minute mark. That's just Malikan does not want to seem to cross.
Yeah, he's just 350 gold per minute right now, so definitely. But Solstier is really doing a great job, sticking into this game, because he is at the moment their main carry, and a symbol of rage just is the best lifesteal item in the entire game. There's no arguing about it, and it gives you so great survivability. So what I really would like to see right now is for Solstier to pick up a major DPS item, because he's got all the survivability covered, and he really needs some DPS going for him right now.
Well, okay, so suggest an item, Wingbow.
Yeah, it'd be good.
You were talking a little bit about Frostborn as well earlier, right?
Yeah, but Frostburn is too late. It's way too late for a Frostburn.
Not gonna be
because
a big difference. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't give you enough DPS. Yeah, what did you say?
Wingbow.
What did you say? Actually, yeah, Wingbow is probably the best choice, because it also gives you a nice ton of armor and strong attack speed. And Solstier's attack speed is not bad, but it's also not really great, so he could definitely improve there.
This could be fun. Solstier gets hooked in, and Malikan eats the ult to the face, but he will be going down thanks to that Panda. Panda, however, is probably going to be going down as well, since he basically, sacrificed himself to take out. So down goes the token, out comes the ult from Malikan, however, so now Legion really need to start falling back, and it does look like Witchslayer is going to go down again, so 097 for him, but I mean, the important part is Solstier got out with that bubbles, and they still have the Vindicator for, you know, less combo. But the Vindicator did throw out the silence, which has allowed them to chain CC that Malikan, and he did go down. I mean, he did use that token, but now it looks like they're going to be taking out their mid tower here for